Here's your wrestling news for November 5th, 2020. And your headlines for today include: Cody reveals a big announcement after Dynamite. EC3 is already done with Impact Wrestling. Miro reveals how humiliated he felt during his final match in WWE. Pac debuts insane character change on AEW Dynamite. Brock Lesnar spotted with a unique new look. CM Punk trolls Chris Jericho. WWE fan fires back at Mustafa Ali with regards to his name pronunciation. Ali strongly reacts. Maven reveals The Undertaker's reaction when rehearsing famous Royal Rumble elimination spot. Vince McMahon almost donated wing to hospital because of WWE storyline, and more. We're kicking off with AEW today as TNT champion Cody can once again go by the name Cody Rhodes. On November 2nd, WWE dropped their trademark for the name, and after this week's Dynamite, Cody revealed to the fans that he can now use the last name of his father that he used in WWE. During this week's final segment, Cody was referred to as Cody Rhodes and cut an incredible promo on Darby Allin to end the show. It's interesting that WWE dropped this trademark around the time that Cody Rhodes abandoned his attempts at trademarking Slamboree and the match beyond. Whatever the reason, Cody is now Cody Rhodes again, and though he failed to get these and other WCW trademarks, getting his last name back is still a huge win. One person who is also no longer with WWE is EC3, who was part of the April 15th cuts, but now his time with Impact Wrestling is also over. Fightful Select are reporting that the former Impact World Champion has wrapped his time up with the company for the time being, following his loss to Moose at Bound for Glory in a highly cinematic match. The report added that EC3 is now working in Ring of Honor and will be with the promotion through the end of the year. It's unclear what the future holds for the one percenter, though we doubt a WWE return is in store, and given rumors that EC3 is set to create something completely separate to WWE, Impact, or ROH, it's clear the former superstar is still going to control his own narrative going forward. We've got Miro news next, as the former Rusev was cut from WWE on April 15th, but there were a lot of changes made to his situation before he was let go. Not only did this release come 3 years after it was initially requested, but his final match with the company was a loss, though that wasn't how it was initially booked. At the time, Rusev was feuding with Bobby Lashley and his wife Lana after Liv Morgan was put in the feud for Shock Factor and nothing more. And during Talk is Jericho, Miro explained the entire experience in detail, saying, "I knew the last match I had on TV was my last match. It was me and Humberto Carrillo against Garza and Bobby. The match started, we were supposed to go over. Next thing I know, I'm losing. Next thing I know, Garza is beating me. Not even Bobby, who was the feud. I already don't have any wins against these people. It doesn't matter. I'm a professional, and whatever you want to do, that's what we do. Here comes the finish, a roll-up, and the instructions were for him to leave the ring. Next thing you know, I see the ref goes to his ear. Next thing you know, Angel goes to the corner and raises his hand while I'm in the ring selling a roll-up. I turn around and I see what's happening. I charged him and beat the f*** out of him. I saw him there and my eyes turned red because I knew what they were trying to do. I went after him and started clubbing him. He rolled out and I broke Joey Mercury's rule, which is if you are a babyface and you lose, you never raise your hand. I so wanted to stick it to everybody and say I don't care who wins and loses because I am Miro and I raised my hand. I came to the back and Vince said he was going to give me a bonus because he said, 'Oh, they tried to bury you out there and you tried to take care of yourself.' Jericho said, 'What? They aren't going to do anything out there without telling him.' Miro said Vince told him, 'This is exactly what we wanted to see, very aggressive, good stuff.' And that was my last match." Though losing to Garza is nothing to be ashamed of, as the 28-year-old superstar is massively talented, the fact that he lost to someone he had no history with, instead of the person he'd been feuding with for months, clearly didn't sit right with the former US champion. That wasn't the only issue WWE had with him in his final days with the company, as Miro also explained how he had cut his hair because WWE weren't doing anything with him, and they gave him a hefty fine because of that. We kinda understand where WWE are coming from with this, as wrestlers need to maintain a certain look for promotional images and action figures, though we seriously doubt Rusev was making it to pay-per-view posters at the time anyway. Speaking about the release request he made 3 years ago, Miro said he didn't feel safe talking to people in the company about it because of the many people who leak information to the media. Miro said that he only spoke to one person about it before making the request, and later said, "Thank God I have my wife." So we presume that Lana was the only person in on his secret. Whilst the ravishing Russian is becoming quite the face on Raw, Miro is doing his own thing in AEW and seems to be far happier now in the All Elite promotion. More from AEW, as Pac was featured in a video vignette for the first time in months, as he's been stuck in the UK thanks to the ongoing global situation. Being in isolation seems to have had a toll on Pac, as in the disturbing video, he spoke about how he's had nobody to play with for months, and that he's going to do something about this, quote, rotten world. This feeling of isolation was strengthened by the image of several Pacs surrounding the former Cruiserweight champion, teasing that being alone for so long has seriously messed him up. The overall theme of the vignette is that Pac has lost his mind, and after 7 months away without anyone to face, it'll be interesting to see what this new Pac brings to the table in AEW. Full Gear news now, as this Saturday's show just got another huge match added. On Twitter, Tony Khan hyped a huge match coming to the buy-in show before Full Gear, and now we know that the NWA Women's title will be on the line. On the buy-in, new champion Serena Deeb, who won the title from Thunder Rosa last week, will face Allison Kay, who's now a free agent after her NWA deal expired. This match will happen on the buy-in, which starts at 7 p.m. Eastern, an hour before Full Gear goes live, and fans can expect another night of epic matches from AEW, with 5 huge title matches set to take place. Speaking of free agents, Brock Lesnar is yet to join any promotion after his WWE contract expired following WrestleMania this year, but now the Beast Incarnate has been spotted sporting a new look. In a recent photo by a fan, Lesnar is rocking quite the beard, which makes the former Universal Champion look even more like a Viking. Lesnar hasn't been seen in WWE since his WrestleMania 36 loss to Drew McIntyre, but with rumors that Vince McMahon wants him back for WrestleMania 37, fans may soon be hearing Lesnar's theme inside the Thunderdome. Back to AEW next, and recently Chris Jericho's comments on the US presidential election did not go down well. Not only was Jericho incorrect in saying it's never taken this long to decide a president, a claim he was corrected on by Lance Storm, but Jericho added that he's not a political person, seemingly ignoring the thousands upon thousands he's donated to Donald Trump's campaign. Fans weren't the only ones to point this out, as CM Punk posted a SpongeBob meme, joking that Jericho claims to not be political despite the overwhelming evidence to the contrary. It might take a while before we know who the next president of the United States will be, but one thing we do know is that Jericho has made a lot of claims this week that he simply can't back up. Over to WWE now, as Mustafa Ali recently made it clear how his name should be pronounced, so of course some fans didn't appreciate that. When Ali added that people should put some respect in saying his name, one fan replied with some expletives, adding, "This is America and we say and do whatever we want." This isn't anything Ali hasn't heard before, as he responded, "Sounds about white." It wasn't too long ago that Fox News host Tucker Carlson, amongst others, received backlash for deliberately mispronouncing the name of Kamala Harris, Joe Biden's running mate in the presidential election. And though Ali has said he wants to open up minds, it's clear he's going about things using a more direct approach. We're going back in time to 2002, as that year's Royal Rumble match saw one of the most shocking eliminations of all time. Outside of Triple H winning and Mr. Perfect's return, this match is perhaps best remembered for Maven eliminating The Undertaker and the beating the dead man gave him in return. Appearing on the bump, the Tough Enough winner explained his trip to Atlanta, and after being told by Shane McMahon and the dead man himself about the spot, that he originally thought they were joking. When Maven realized the pair weren't joking, the match became a career-defining performance for him. And though he'd never have much success in WWE before his release in 2005, fans will always remember that cold January night when the young kid got one over on the Demon of Death Valley. Back to the present now, as WWE superstars are encouraged to stick to scripted promos, and whilst some top stars have a way that makes it seem like they're improvising, that isn't the case. Whilst many fans have given WWE grief because of the nature of scripted promos, Ringside News are reporting that some top superstars actually prefer working with a script. It's said that The Miz, who often seems like he's thinking up lines off the cuff, loves being scripted, and given his acting career, he's no stranger to having lines written for him. It was also noted that Sasha Banks and Bayley don't improvise their lines, but they do have a lot of input in their segments. Speaking of SmackDown, it's also been reported that the Street Profits don't improvise their lines quite as much as fans may think, but work incredibly close with the writer, and that they do get more of an opportunity to think of what to say on the fly, something that was important to Paul Heyman. Back in the Attitude Era, these scripted promos weren't nearly as common, and whilst we may one day return to a WWE where things are said in the heat of the moment, it's clear not everyone wants to go back to how things were. Of course, nothing makes it to air on WWE programming without Vince McMahon signing off on it, and there's a whole lot that the chairman gets up to behind the scenes. On Reddit, former WWE writer John Reinman recently did an AMA and spoke about an angle they had which would have seen someone attack somebody in the hospital. He said, "Vince thinks about it and says, 'We're really gonna fuck up this hospital. How much would it cost to rebuild?' He stops, thinks a second, then says matter-of-factly, 'I might have to donate a wing to a hospital. How much does that cost?'" Reinman added that the hospital angle was ultimately nixed, though in a later meeting, Vince added that he should donate a hospital wing somewhere, though, before scribbling down the word hospital in pencil. Despite the fact that it would have cost a lot of money to donate an entire hospital wing, it's obvious that Vince McMahon can afford it. So the next time you need to take a trip to the doctors, remember that your treatment may have happened in a wing endorsed by the chairman of WWE. And we're ending with Asuka, as the Empress of Tomorrow has done a lot of big things in her 5 years with WWE and now has reached a huge landmark. According to a fan who's been counting all women's title reigns in WWE, both singles and tag titles, Asuka is now the second most decorated star of all time, holding gold for 953 days and counting. This number includes her record-long reign as NXT Women's Champion, her record-long reign as Women's Tag Team Champion, her SmackDown Women's title reign, and her 2 Raw Women's Championship reigns. This week, the Empress took the number 2 spot from Bayley, who's sitting at 951, though we doubt anyone will beat the fabulous Moolah in first place, who has a combined 10,775 days. With that said, Asuka's 953 days is still a huge accomplishment, and with no challenger in sight, expect that number to keep getting bigger.